நீங்க நல்லவரா கெட்டவரா? We never got the answer for it. For those of you who don't speak Tamil, this is an iconic dialogue which says,
Why do you expect the answer from Nayakan? Go stand in front of your mirror and ask that question.
are you a good person or a bad person? That's what the dialogue translates to.
I till date, I've stopped shaving now, so I spend little time in front of the mirror. Otherwise, I'll be. All those times I spent in front of a mirror while making myself into some other character, I've never found the answer. I could be both. Depends on the point of view, where you place the camera, who places the camera. If it's my camera, I'm a good man.
So, but coming to Thug Life, and we have Rangaraja Saktivel Nayakar. நல்லவரா கெட்டவரா படம் பார்த்தா தான் தெரியுமா?
ஆமா.
பட் முன்னாடி கொஞ்சம் ஒரு ரெண்டு வரியாவது சொல்லுங்களேன் சார்.
அப்போ திருப்பி போய் மணிரத்னம் சாரை மீட் பண்ண வேண்டாமா? என்ன சார் அங்கே போய் நான் கஷ்டப்பட்டு இவ்வளோ எடிட்டெல்லாம் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன், எடிட்டிங்கே இல்லாமல் தட்டி விட்டீங்களே நீங்கள் மொத்த கதையும் அங்கே அப்படின்னு கேட்டாருன்னா நான் என்ன பதில் சொல்ல முடியும்? ஸோ ஐ திங்க் ஷீ அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் த சிச்சுவேஷன் பெட்டர். பிகாஸ் கதையே சொல்லாமல் ஏதோ அவர் சொன்ன மாதிரியும் அவங்க கேட்ட மாதிரியும் ஒரு பிரமையை ஏற்படுத்திட்டாங்கல்ல, அதை தான் நான் பண்ண முடியும். அதுக்கு மேலே
இதில் கூட ஆன்சர் கிடைக்காது. தக்லைஃப் பார்த்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் கூட
தக்லைஃப் பார்த்தாலும் ஆன்சர் கிடைக்காது. நல்லதும் கெட்டதும் சேர்ந்தது தான். கணக்குக்கு எது முக்கியம், ப்ளஸ்ஸா மைனஸான்னு கேட்டால்.
So, I love the analogy. But is this what it's like to work with him on a film? How do you stay in character for a role if this is what conversations are going to be like? What was it like on the sets of Thug Life?
You know, he finds it a cliche, but every time you work with a Kamal sir, it's really like going to school. It's like pretty much unlearning everything you've learned and learning something new.
Yeah, she came to school with me. She wouldn't like to admit it because...
I did.
With me.
I did, yes.
I also go to school every time I make a film.
And that's why he is...
I hate the idea of that Guru Stan, you know. That okay, Mr. Balchandra had to suffer it. I will not suffer it. I will remain a student and go to school with Trisha and probably your daughter.
But sir, can we maybe convince you to suffer it and start a Kamalhassan film school? Because you were talking about how learning and skill development is the independence movement for the film industry. You've always been one where you don't wait for someone else to start it. You get it started yourself. When can we expect the school?
I think you're overestimating the teaching profession. Because a PhD goes back to his village and touches the feet of his 5th standard school teacher. So that's all I can be for the future PhD. I can't follow him all the way to his university. So I can only give the basic thing, but I can gather talented people for various faculties, because cinema is not just about actors. National Geographic is cinema to me. When I see it, I see drama, I see emotions, I see what you call, I become what Shankaracharya calls the Sakshi Bhutam. We are all Sakshi Bhutam for what is happening there. We cannot interfere, we should not interfere. So that's what I can be. I can't interfere with the growth of the future actor because I'll be teaching him wrong. I'll be teaching him acting of my time. It will be useful for him, like my predecessors' acting talents have been very useful for me, but I cannot exactly copy it and bring it forth to an audience who doesn't even know where I learnt it from. So they are just watching this. And I think I'd love to start a school, but that school is not where I will be teaching. I'll be learning. In the pretext of running a school, I love to go back and sit with the students and learn because so many things are changing every 6 months. There are fantastic teachers within the audience sitting here. But that alone will not do. You need 12 more people like that. We have solid, strong faculties like 12, 12 people on the top. Now, as I said, we need to start schools, ITI. Okay. So ITI is very important because we go into a set and the top guys who are working are about 7, 8 people. The rest of them are very essential for that set and they must have skills or the set will become a chaos. So who trains them? They must be sheer genius to have picked up whatever they have picked up with no teachers teaching them. All of them are Ekalavya's. There are no Dronas teaching them what to do. It's on their own. Wanting to be like that Drona, but they learn on their own, the light boys. Once in a while, a busy director will say, don't do it like that. That's the time a director can spend teaching on the set. He can't afford to. So I always tell assistant directors who come to me and say, I'll work with you and I'll learn cinema. You can't. I'm so busy saving my backside. I can't be teaching you. And please tell me why I would take you as my assistant. Would I do that to a driver who says, I don't know anything about cars, but with you, with your guidance, I'll become a fantastic driver. Yeah, what happens to me? And much worse, what happens if you're a cook and you're going to learn at my expense? So the same will apply for assistant director, camera assistant, focus puller, light, the man who holds the cutter so that the light doesn't fall on the wrong areas. All that we have to now invest back. And I'd love to go to those classes because I'm sure that nobody taught me those things. So it'll be a new learning.
Well, sir, attendance will be through the roof if you are attending those classes. So we hope you do that. It will encourage more people in the industry
No,
to
I did
upskill.
that. In Los Angeles, I went to a school and one Bengali gentleman who was also an alumni recognized me. And the whole thing, he introduced me to everybody. Then I was no more a student, so I had to walk out.
What, in your opinion, is his impact on cinema?
You know, he pretty much answered that for me over the last 20 minutes. The very fact that he thinks he's still a student, that is the kind of impact he has had on me because I think I've known Kamal sir for about 15 years now. We've worked on 3 films. It's amazing that, like he said, there is no hierarchy when he's on set. Whether it is me, whether it is a character someone playing a character, whether it is a child in a film, he has inculcated how important training is for a film, and everybody here is just a student. And the childlike enthusiasm and the 100% commitment and conviction he gives to anything. And as everybody knows, he has donned so many different roles besides being an actor, and he has excelled at all of them. So you don't know which is better than the other. And he's one of those rare cases, I would like to say, is the jack of all trades and the master of all of them as well. Yeah.
Sir, can I just say, just like how Jennifer Lopez inspired Google Images, it's like, I feel like artificial intelligence and like ChatGPT was created inspired by you. Because in this one conversation, we've understood the history of our nation, found anecdotes where we can take pride in the city that we live in, we've grown up in, and I must commend you on that. You inspire every single one of us to continue to be students of life and students in the Kamalhassan School of Life.
Yeah, if you had asked me these questions about 30 years back, I may not have had the same answers. I'm growing.
Thank you for helping us grow with you. But I want to come back to this wonderful film that you haven't told me anything about, which is Thug Life. Can you at least tell me it's a multi-star film? Who are your co-actors? Can you tell me a little bit about them?
Definitely, it's a multi-star film because there are some of the actors in the film who are going to become stars. If you include them, it truly is a multi-star film. And of course, we also add to it. But it's a kind of film which Money wanted to do, I wanted to do, so we are doing it.
You know, I will get a
You
phone
know
call.
only one part.
Yes, I will get a phone call from Mani sir the next minute I leave this podium, because that's how he's very silent about the work he does, right? So I
Which is why
think
we're trying to get you
And
all to do
also,
the talking. I would not dare to ask Mani sir these questions.
No,
I'm
no.
well trained by
No,
him.
but the thing is, the story is conceived in such a way. Some characters that I interact with, she'll never interact with. And it's a separate part of my life. And so it is like that. I mean, not all people working with me will attend Fiki meet. It is like that. So the story has so many characters, very talented actors, and from Malayalam, from Hindi cinema, from Telugu cinema, we have all sorts of great talent. The talent that I would have, each one of them are capable of holding a film on their own.
Well, that's an incredible introduction, and we're all going to wait with bated breath for June 5th. But, sir, I want to ask you this. How do you stay so on top of everything? Like, we saw that interview with Shruti, and she was talking about how your emoji game is just next level. How do you do this? Like, how are you so clued in with every generation that comes?
No, people thought I was a good child actor. I was just a mimic. I was a parrot. All these emojis, I'm mimicking. I don't know about it. So if you give me something exciting, you teach me a game, I'll play it. Whether I'll excel in it or not is another thing to be seen. But I'll play the game. That's what it is, probably what Shruti was mentioning. Must have been that. I'm enthusiastic about any new learning, except mathematics. That's why I came to cinema.
Don't worry, sir. You make us feel a little bit better. We can all relate in the fact that there's one thing Kamalhassan's not great at, which is mathematics. So it's nice. It adds to your relatability factor, and I love that. I want to ask you, how clued in are you with the Gen Z lingo that we see everywhere? Do you need flashcards and someone to help you translate it, or do you know what's happening?
No, I don't know what's happening at all. He probably knows better. Everything, the Gen Z generation, there's so much I learn. Like just last week, I learned that, yeah,
You can't
it's
keep
a bit hard to keep up
track.
with.
You can't keep track of it. I was just talking to somebody who was teaching AI, and she didn't know a particular guy who has come up with a coding program that's banned in some of the American schools because the children are excelling in coding. And that's called replit.com. And it's done by Masad, Javed Masad or something. And it's fantastic. And I didn't poke my nose into it because so much maths in it. I got scared. I could have gone back to MCT Mutejetiar High School to suffer it. Why go to America?
Sir, on that note, I want to say thank you so very much for your candor, your humor, your wit, and of course, the wealth of knowledge that you always bring to every interaction. Thank you for this. Trisha, as always, radiant as ever. Thank you for lighting up the stage. Thank you for being here with us. More importantly, thank you for joining me in fangirling over Kamal, sir.